So you can probably hear the Halo soundtrack playing in the background. That's because I bought an Xbox One the other day and I am playing the Master Chief Edition like mad. Nonetheless, I wanted to bring you this video today, store etiquette, because I was in IKEA the other day. I bought this new desk, which is right here, and someone stole my shopping cart. Never in my entire life have I actually had items in a shopping cart and I turn around for literally 30 seconds and boom, it's gone. And what perplexed me so much about this is that I literally turned with less than 30 seconds, and I was looking at this desk. I turned around because I wanted to grab something out of my cart, and it was nowhere to be found. And I have to give this person credit. Whoever stole it, you have master thievery skills, because number one, I didn't see it. Number two, it had my items in it that I hadn't paid for yet, so it wasn't that big of a loss. But ultimately, the fact of the matter is that within those 30 seconds, they managed to get as far away as possible as they possibly could, that I couldn't find them. That's what amazes me, is that within 30 seconds, they were... I walked all around the designated area and even past that area looking for my cart with items in it, and it was gone. Gone. I was just sitting there like, how did this happen? My girlfriend was like, someone stole our cart, and I was like, you're right, they did. But that kind of inspired this video. I've never actually worked at a grocery store, but I know that some of the things that I'm about to say are things that piss me off, and they're gonna piss you off if you work at a grocery store, simply because these are things that I have noticed, and having my cart stolen somehow inspired me to think of these things. This is some simple store etiquette that I would advise you, if you are a parent, to just please abide by these very, very simple rules if you work in a grocery store. Number one, item stocking. Believe it or not, there are people who are paid minimum wage who stock items on the things that you buy. You know, let's just, for example, say a bunch of water bottles or Pop-Tarts, if that makes you more satisfied. And you're walking down the aisle, you grab this Pop-Tart, right? And you look at the box and you're like, huh, well, I don't think I want this. And you put it back, and you put it back crookedly, but you push the item back to where it moves all of the other items that look like on slants and crooked. Like, you put the item back, but you don't put it back in the same original place. You just throw it in there, and it messes up everything else. Believe it or not, the stores has standards, and these standards by the stockers have to make everything look alignment and nice. If you take an item off the shelf, like in looking at it, put it back exactly the way you found it. It is really that simple. There's no need for you to throw the item or act like you put both your arms in the shelves and go like this and destroy everything. I don't understand how people can end up doing something like that that is so easy to do, but it's so simple, yet you can't put it back in the exact same place. Store etiquette number two is similar to the same thing. If you take an item and eventually you don't end up wanting to buy it, give it to the clerk when you go out to checkout. Do not put the item in the wrong location. I mean, how many times have I walked down the chip aisle and I find a thing of Band-Aids, or I find Oreos, a package of Oreos stuffed in the chip section, and I'm like, why did you do this? You really couldn't take the item, found out you didn't want it, you couldn't just put it back to where you found it? But no, they have to place items around the entire store, trying to like play hide and seek with different items that may be missing that weren't actually purchased, because there's a thing in grocery stores called inventory, and they have to check inventory on certain items that have been sold or not. And when items are missing that have actually been placed in the different locations of the stores, they can get a missed item count and they can get in big trouble. Store etiquette number three, and this is a really I see this one all the time, very, very common. If you have a kid, that's awesome. However, I would recommend that if you go to the store and you put items in your shopping cart, pay for it before you eat it. All too often I see these little kids sitting in their little baskets with their mom. They take something off the shelf, open it right then and there, and he's eating the food, the crumbs dripping all over the floor, making a mess as they're walking around the store for something that they have not paid for yet. Now, it doesn't matter if you intend to pay for it, because you can easily steal it. Your little kid can eat all those little animal crackers, and right when you get the cash register, you don't have to pay for it. I mean, that is known as stealing. That is stealing a product that you have not yet paid for. You're eating a product that you have not yet paid for, and then you're letting your kid make a mess all around the store. The restroom. For some reason, I'm terrified of going in public restrooms, specifically in grocery stores, because all too often two things happen. One, I sit down and I noticed that there's a lot of urine all around the toilet bowl. This is probably just not a store thing, but because grocery stores don't get probably the same regular maintenance as like a movie theater with hundreds of people, it seems to me that people either shit on the walls or piss on the seat and don't even take the effort to clean it. That's what pisses me off. You know, it's fine if you get a little bit of a tinkle on the toilet seat. That's okay. But could you at least get a rag and clean it up? Your own piss, rather than having someone sit on your own piss? And finally, my last recommendation is when you're going to check out with all of your items, try to put items next to one another, because for the cashier and the cashier and beggar, it makes it far easier when you have items like, for example, bulk meats. Put the meats together. If you have liquids, put the liquids together. Noodles, soft noodles or cans, put those together, because believe it or not, all of these items have different management sections on. For example, if you buy Tilex or something, or some type of cleaner, they're not going to be able to put the cleaner with the eggs or the cheese or whatever. So just try to separate things based upon the category that they're in, because it makes for a lot faster and more efficient cashier to go fast through the items, but also for the bagger to be able to bag things, because he has to put things in specific orders and in certain bulk in order to qualify for store standards. So, oh, and finally the last one is, please don't steal shopping carts. My name is Daniel Soulsbuckles, and as Mr. Repzion, peace the rep out, and I will probably have my review for Halo Chief Master Chief Edition probably on Friday. I also have to review Assassin's Creed Unity, so I have Far Cry 3, 4, I got a lot of games I gotta review, so be looking forward to that.